What's up, this is Herb. Welcome back to the vlog. Want to shoot lower scores? Who doesn't? Well, if you want to break 90 or break 80, then you really have to learn how to get up and down around the greens. We're not going to make every approach shot on the green, so you got to get those techniques and skills that allow you to chip and putt and get a chance to save par when it looks like you're going to bogey or worse. So I just played a round where I focused on chipping and putting and getting up and down. Check it out, see if there's some things that you can apply to your game. We're playing 9 holes at Riverfront Golf Club in Suffolk today, and we're on the 10th hole. That's where we're starting, the back 9. It's about 330 yards, and I like to try to hit a fade here because you've got out of bounds to the left, houses to the right. So I try to aim a fade kind of at the middle stick there and have it curve back a little bit. End up about 100 yards out if we hit a good shot. And that looks like that was a pretty good shot there. So for the second shot, we're about 102 yards out, and very windy today, so I've got to take the wind into account. The wind is coming hard from screen left to screen right, so I want to hit a shot into the wind and have it ride the wind and end up on the green. So nice try here. Unfortunately, I started on the wrong line. I started it at the pin, and the wind took it, and my shot trace was a little off there, but ended up on the right side there in the sand. And in this bunker, this is a deep bunker. This bunker is like 5 feet deep, and I've got to hit it out to a green that's sloping away, and it could very well roll off into the other sand. So this is not an easy shot, but we're going to give it a good try, and we're out. We're on the green. I'm kind of feeling it as I walk, and I get the sense that this one is going to break from screen left to screen right, so from my right to left. It's a little bit uphill, but these greens are pretty slick, so I've got to kind of manage the pace and the tempo. Here we go. It's on a good line. It's gonna come up 6 inches short. So we start off the back 9 with a bogey, but that's not a bad bogey from that sand trap. That could have been a double or a triple. All right, the next hole, hole 11, a par 3, about 136 yards, as you can see there, and I'm hitting straight into the wind. The wind is coming right at me about 20 miles per hour, so I'm trying to hit a shot to the left side of the green, but I need to hit something thin, and it's a little low, and it's fading. And this is kind of dangerous, actually, when you think about the wind, because if it fades too much, there's water over there on the right. So I don't want to over fade it at all. And we ended up in a great place, though. We're almost pin high. We're 30 feet or so from the pin. And this is a slick putt. It's a little downhill. And as I'm looking at it, I kind of got the feel for where I think it's going to break. And I'm walking it now to get more feel for it, kind of figure out the distance. And I know it's going to be slick. I know it's going to be pretty fast. And with the way, you see how the wind is blowing? You see how hard the wind is blowing? Looks like it's going to pull that stick out of the ground there. And there it goes. I just barely touched it. You see, it doesn't move at all. It's a straight putt. Imagine that. There's no such thing as a straight putt. But that's a pretty tricky 5-footer back for a par. But we're in. There's a par. So we're tracking pretty good. We had a bogey on the first hole, 10th hole, and par on that hole. This is the toughest hole for me on the course. 12th hole, 434 yards, so it's long for me for a par 4. I got to have a great drive. I got to have a long drive to have any chance to get to the green in 2. So I'm aiming, again, there's out of bounds to the left, out of bounds to the right. I'm aiming for a cut shot, aiming at that tree and letting it come back. And it was a pretty good shot. I didn't quite get as much distance as I liked, I think that one only went about 230 yards. So we got a little about 200 yards left. And normally I would try that if there weren't water to the right. With the water to the right, I don't want to hit a 200-yard shot with a 3-wood, because if I miss it, the ball's going in the water. So I'm hitting a 4 hybrid here, and I'm trying to hit it maybe 185 yards and maybe have it bounce. It's a great line. Unfortunately, it didn't quite go as far or as well as I wanted because it's wet and it hit and it's stuck. This isn't a bad chip. I think I'm there. I'm trying to get it to move to the right so I can have a good putt. And unfortunately, it stuck. It stopped short. So I've got maybe 20 feet here for par. That's a downhill, serious break to the right. So this is a putt, a bogey. We could have gotten a par if I had just gotten those 2 bounces, but no bounces. All right, it's a mulligan here. I know it didn't go in, but I wasn't taking it seriously. I expected that to be a tap in. That's a bogey. All right. All right, so we skipped the par 3. I didn't shoot that. Somebody must have been around, so I didn't want to take time. But this is a par 5, about 500 yards. And I usually try to aim at that bush that's to the left of center there and have something that fades back to the right. And in this case, what we ended up doing was overcooking a little bit. So it goes left, but doesn't come back too far right. So I'm really lucky that it didn't go out of bounds. And it's out of bounds left and right. Out of bounds left, houses to the right as always. But that one came up a little short of the bushes, thank goodness. So we got a shot here. It's a par 5. We're still about 300 out. And I'm shooting, and I didn't say this, dead into the wind. The wind is coming straight at me, 20 miles an hour. So I know this shot has to be low, and I know this shot has to be a draw. So I'm gonna aim it out to the right and try to bring it back in to the fairway. So look at that. That's like a slinging hook there, but that's close to what I wanted. And the ball actually ends up exactly where I wanted, which was right there, about 120 yards out. Because this is a easy pitch, not a pitch, but it's just an easy shot with a pitching wedge or gap wedge, probably a pitching wedge. But the wind again is coming hard from right to left, and normally I would, like any 120 yard, aim straight at the flag, and I aimed straight at the flag, but I should have aimed to the right of the flag because the wind is coming so hard. It blew that shot left of the green, about 25 feet left of the green. So look at that. That is a really delicate chip. Look at how that's how fast the green is. You see how, and the wind, of course, still blowing it. So got to clean this up now. This is a tricky 5-footer, but these are the ones that we have to make if we want to get our scores low. And there we go. So cleaned up and down, up and down. So you realize that's 2 up and downs from off the green that I've had so far. Only 1 green in regulation. Not bad. All right, next hole. Again, seems like every hole is the same way. There's out of bounds to the left, out of bounds to the right. So I'm really trying to hit a cut shot kind of toward that tree in the middle, but wrong tree. And I actually hit that tree, and the golfing god smiled at me because the ball bounced back into the fairway. But I'm way back. And because this is so narrow, I mean, there's water on the right up there at the green and out of bounds, so I can't miss that. You can see there's houses on the left, so I can't take a chance on pulling it. So I really just want to lay up here and hit maybe 160 yard, 150 yard shot here. And that's at that tree there. And if it cuts a little bit, great. It'll bounce a little bit, and then I've got a chip, and maybe I get a chance for the putt. So I'm right next to that tree that you saw in the distance there, and about 40 yards out. And you can see, if you can look at the flag is, again, the wind is still howling from right to left. Okay, so we hit a gap wedge, just trying to chip it up there, have it hit short of the green and roll toward the pin. And that might be the best chip and run I've ever hit in my life, because wow, it ends up 8 inches from the cup. And even I can make this putt with my eyes closed. Boop, there we go. Another par saved. I'm rolling today. All right, so we go to 16. A little more wide open than the last 2 holes, but there's still houses to the right. So I try to hit a cut to the left. About 230 yards down is the goal. There's a stake out there at about 150. I want to hit to the left side of the stake and have it fade a little bit back toward the stick. And that was a really great tee shot. Just exactly the way I wanted it, the distance I wanted it, the location I wanted. So somehow I did not get the next shot on camera. And it ended up to the right here. Somehow, I don't know how it ended up to the right. I sprayed it. Maybe I was trying to hit a draw because I was downwind and it didn't draw. So I'm right of the green for a 3rd shot, and I do my usual thing. I walk it off here, and I think I'm gonna come out to maybe 20 feet or so. 20 yards, excuse me. 19 yards. I'm gonna hit the gap wedge. And a little delicate chip with the gap wedge. I know this is going to, this green slopes from left to right here. And look at that, wow, that was a really, well, it was a crappy chip. It didn't chip at all. It was a really great long putt. So we've got 4 feet here for par, to clean up for another up and down, up and down. We're having a great day. This is a great day of golf here. All right, hole 17, a little more than 300 yards. I'm hitting a 4 hybrid. I'm trying to hit a 200-yard tee shot here in the middle of the fairway. All right, good strike. Nice line there. The wind is behind me, so I know it's gonna run out there and end up pretty close to where I want it to be, which is just around the 100-yard marker, which is where we are, 102 yards. So with the wind behind me, I want to aim a little, I can't hit right, is out of bounds. Can't go right, you see where the sand is, see where the tree is? Can't go there, so I gotta aim a little to the left. And, all right, so we're aiming left, and it's gonna fade a little bit and end up on the left side of the green, which is a good shot. All right, so the putt, it says 20 feet, 22 feet, and this one definitely goes from left to right. It's pretty slick, it's pretty fast, it's a delicate shot, and I'm usually pretty good about these. 9 times out of 10 I end up short. Hit it, I expected to move more, doesn't break as much. Oh, what happened? Battery died on the camera, so wasn't able to shoot that last comebacker, but I guarantee I made it, parred that hole, got up and down, and then played the last hole and parred that one. So turned out to be a great round. Check out the scorecard here. We ended up shooting 39, 3 over, could have shot an even par 36. All right, if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button or like this, sign up for the channel. We got more golf videos coming out, putting out 2 golf videos a week starting next week. All right, we'll check you out later. Bye.